Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got one of the maps that fits into a genre which normally performs very badly indeed on this channel. Yeah, sure, we do see the occasional good one, but normally the very large map shoehorned into a shoebox normally performs very badly indeed. Now, today's map, on the other hand, is in the valiant effort category. It doesn't do too bad at all. In fact, there's not too much wrong with it. It could do a little bit of a rework with the networking, but other than that, it's pretty good for what it is. It's pretty okay. Now, you may notice up in the top left-hand corner in the Yukon area, we've got what looks like a bear with a skipping rope. And I hate skippers, don't you? That's right, people that skip hitting the like button really don't support my channel, don't get me seen by more people, and don't help me grow a little bit more every single day, and I hate them, hate them. Today's map is the Giant USA map. Yes, I'm using Mattia's correct spelling. It's Mattia 10, it's the creator. I'm pretty sure that's the Giant USA map, but USA is what it says. There's your start square. I know it's Texas, but I'd like to see a little bit more water in there, to be fair. There's your terrain heights. It's, well, flat, buildable space with some mountains. Pretty much what you'd expect, and also more or less what you'd expect with the resources as well. Fertile where there should be fertile, and oil where there should be oil, and so on. If you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing on this map, this is what your fishing map will look like. Off to the workshop, what do we need? Well, it is a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. A recommendation for the 81 tile mod, and I would say yes, indeed, especially if you want to build on the eastern or western seaboards. We'll be using Sedona AZ. Blimey, am I American all of a sudden? AZ, Sedona, Arizona theme, and the realistic 1.2 LUT. Now here we are off in Mexico. Yeah, I know. And it looks a bit like Playmobil Mexico to me, but we'll just, it's always going to be, when you're shrinking something huge down to something very small indeed, it's going to look a little bit Playmobil, isn't it? Anyway, what we got is a slightly clunky looking networking system with national roads. I'd like to see highways. A bit of a struggle to get it up this part of the map, but I would like to have seen highways, especially across the other parts of the map, just to get the traffic flowing. Although I kind of understand why we're going national roads, because everything is being shrunk down, so you're going to need the roads to be shrunk down as well, don't you? Slightly encroaching tree on the rail, and we're looking at the road and rail simultaneously. We're also looking at the Yucatan Peninsula, which means we are still in Mexico. Oh, my Spanish accent is as bad as my German pronunciation, isn't it? And anything else I'll try and say. The rail is very uppy downy, and you'll find this, although that's probably one of the worst parts on the map in terms of uppy downiness. It's it could do with a polish and a rework in terms of the networking. And also, I don't feel that they know about Bloody Penguin's tunnel enabler mod, because the rail could have done with a tunnel coming up here. I mean, the road going over here is just about tolerable, I would say. But the rail is, I mean, it's fantasy land, isn't it? Yeah, why not? Stick it over there. That'll stop them. You're not coming back now, are you? Nope. Anyway, yes, so it's a genre that doesn't do particularly well normally. There are a few good ones, but there aren't many of them, and usually they do feel either contrived or no effort at all. Quite often the case. Quite often it is just the minimum. They start doing the job and then they realise what a big job building a map is, because it is a huge task building a map, and then you end up with a half finished bit of work that's released to the public, and the screenshot looks promising, and then you open up the map and it's not good. Today's one, this isn't bad at all. The Rio Grande, ladies and gentlemen, which means we are now leaving Mexico and entering USA. USA is where we are now. We have a road over rail. That's quite a neat little touch, actually. I wasn't expecting to say that. But on the right, you'll see that the rail, we've just got a little bit of, up and over. It would have been easier to have gone around those. minor detailing issues on a map that is not about detailing, but I've got to mention them for fairness for everybody else. Right, we're into Start Square territory now, so if you pull back you'll see mostly it's flat space around here. It's pretty cool. And we've got an American asset. I'm assuming it's American because I've not heard of them and it looks American. So, and it's by an American creator, or I believe to be the American creator, DieHardHunter. I'm sure you're American. So anyway, Tudor's Biscuit World and Gino's Pizza sounds exactly the sort of place I would go if I was in America. Like both of those, except for I need to know anybody who's Americanish. Can you let me know, Biscuit World, is that like in cookies or is that as in breakfast muffins that you get in your McDonald's? I need to know because I know you call them biscuits, and I desperately, in case I come over, I want to know. Anyway, factoids, because factoids, get this one out quickly. George Orwell, the socialist writer, was born on this day, the 25th of June in 1903, and was at one time or the other a tramp in both Paris and London. And he was educated at Eton. Fancy being a tramp, a binational tramp, both Paris and London. How is that even possible? Anyway, Tudor's Biscuit World and Gino's Pizza. By the impeccable DieHardHunter, better known for their cars and trucks and stuff, but are very capable of doing buildings and stuff as well. Right, Eastern Seaboard, we're not going to go down off to the left because it's a bit of a dead end going on there, but that's where you'll be building your New Yorks, down that way, I do believe. And then we'll follow this road. Now, this is pretty much a road to nothingness. Once we get past St. Lawrence River, St. Lawrence River area, which we will talk about a little bit later on, you'll find that there is not too much to say. So anyway, heading down towards Great Lakes on the left, and St. Lawrence River would be passing under here. I wish it was there, you know. I wish it was. Anyway, and now we're into, basically I'm thinking we must be into Canada. Slightly wonky bridge here. Slightly wonky. I'm not quite sure where the border between the USA and Canada goes because it's a very long border. But I know most of this is going to be Canada because we are north of the Great Lakes. And so, my big grumble with this part of the map is actually not so much the highway. I don't really understand the highways. In America, I don't know what is where and where is what. But this doesn't really feel that it is a main route across the United States, given that it is north of the Great Lakes. And this is, as you can see by the moving traffic, this is the main route across the continent. Anyways, what I was going to say, while we're here, and there's not too much to talk about on this part of the map, because frankly it is just a long, boring road that doesn't have much wrong with it, is talk about what's coming up. And I'll try and give you a little bit more information each time I do this so that you know it's worth listening to and not just skipping over. Yes, so the 1000th show is coming up in a few weeks' time. And then I'll be taking what I believe is going to be a 3-week break. It might be 2, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for 3. There will still be content coming though, and I am currently recording content to fill the lack of what map. There will still be what maps. I'm still going to be doing map reviews, but filling in a few gaps of maps that I should have reviewed in the past and haven't gotten around to. Thank you very much. Driving through my window. Okay, so yes, we've got that coming up. I've also got a couple of new shows. One of them is going to be premium content, and you'll be encouraged to sign up and join in with that one. But it's completely up to you if you do or you don't. You won't be missing that much if you don't, because WhatMap will always be free content. But also, I'm going to be launching a new show open to all. It's going to be interactive. It's going to be the nearest thing that we've got to a game show. A Cities Skylines game show, and I'm going to be encouraging people, you the viewers, to get in touch and get involved. And if you're interested in taking part in a Cities Skylines style game show, and don't worry, you don't need to be bright or intelligent, you don't even need to be any good at the game. Honestly, all you need is a reasonable internet connection. We'll be using Discord to communicate with each other, and I think, and of course you need the game. You actually don't really need the game, but you need to understand the game a little bit, just a wee bit. It's not a game of skill. It's not a game of skill. It's just a way also of interacting with me. You'll get to chat with me. We'll do a little bit of recording. We won't even see your face because I know a lot of you might be a bit shy of showing your mush, a bit like me. Which is why you get my voice only. So yes, if you're interested, Facebook, head on over there, message me in the comments over there. You can message me down below in the comments on this video, but we couldn't communicate via that. We would have to find another way. So Facebook's the best way. You could do it via Twitter, or of course over on Patreon as well. If you've got a free account over there, message me there. Anyway, we are just about the end of this little trawl across Northern America. We'll take a short intermission. We'll come back and we'll check the shipping and the water flow.
Fed up with vanilla or ploppable parking lots in your city? Wondering what Bonnie Day's Parking Lots Roads is all about? Then you need BonBonB's Parking Lots tutorial. Click the information button below.
And so back to the giant user map by Mattia 10. Yes, I know it's USA, but I'm just reading it as it's written, you know. Okay, shipping comes down the eastern seaboard, heads into the Caribbean. Be careful, there be pirates, and there be pirates. We've got a bit of a tongue of a loop round, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Happy with that. And then over here on the western coast, we have got the Pacific shipping route, so you can access your San Diegos, your Seattles, your what else is up here? Los Angeles, and San Francisco. That's the one. And okay, right, we got this big old river. I'm telling you now, this is the Mississippi and its tributaries, and this is it's fine. Got good water flow running down here, except for this goes nowhere near the start square. Well, it goes a little bit near the start square, but it doesn't go into the start square. In fact, the only river that goes near to the start square is the Rio Grande, this one here. And we've got water flow there, which is all right. Except for you've got no accessible water from the start square because it just edges off the edge of the map like that. And if you try and place a water pump or drain there, you will end up with out of area. So you're going to have to use water towers and ground-based solutions. Consider those before you get started. Now, it's not a square map. It's apparently a rhombus map, although I would argue that's more of a diamond shape. I mean, it might be squidged a little bit to make it work. So, yeah. It says rhombus in the description, and maybe it is. Maybe it is, and it's just it has to be squished a little bit. I don't know. Now, rivers. We've seen the Mississippi. We've seen the Rio Grande. This is the Colorado River, and the Colorado River, that's the one, Colorado River, goes into the Grand Canyon. Now, I know there is actually water running through the Grand Canyon, but I don't mind that this is perfectly dry because it is quite narrow and shallow, and it's all about getting the balance right on the map, and I feel the balance is about right there. Over here, this is really very nice as well, where we have all the Greenland, where we have the big cities going on here, and then the mountain ridge going into the Nevada and Arizona deserts. I'm sure I've got at least one of those two right. I'm sure I've got one of them right. Now these mountains, you will see a little bit of a dropout in a moment, but we'll just ignore that. We'll just pretend nothing's happening here, right? Okay. Oopsie. And I'll just talk about these mountains right there. You see, I'd like to see them a little bit more ridgy. We have seen them quite regularly done with the Virginia maps, and there's been quite a few maps fairly in the last year of this kind of area, and we've seen ridgy mountains. Now, admittedly, this isn't so easy to do, ridgy mountains on this sort, but it is possible, and I'd like to have seen at least an effort on it. But the mountains are in the right place, so I can't grumble there. Eastern Seaboard, this is where your New Yorks and your stuffs are going to be, and your Rhode Island, that biggest of all the states, Rhode Island. How is that even a state? We have got some meteorite strikes. Somebody's going to tell me in the comments now. We've got some meteorite strikes going on there and there. These need smoothing out. These are detailing errors that have just slipped through. And I don't mind that. I mean, a little bit of texture in the land, I do not mind at all. But these just feel potholes to me. It's like acne. A little bit of acne going on down the Maryland area there. And then if we come on over this, oh, cookies again. Maryland cookies. Okay, the St. Lawrence River, which would, I'm sure, again, correct me if I'm wrong here. This is working off the top of my head here. I'd like to have seen those all connected up with the St. Lawrence River. And I'd like to have seen a nod to Niagara Falls in the Great Lakes. Not actually a big old falls, because once again everything has to be scaled down. But maybe just a few rocks with water running through them. Maybe, just as a hint. Then over here we've got Canada. Canada, that's the one. And yes, okay, this is Canada in the summer where there's no snow, which is okay. I don't mind this. Lots of flat land, which is definitely to a degree the case in this area. But I'd like to see it broken up with some texturing and with some lakes. There's a lot of lakes in this part of the world, and I'd like to have seen that. Anyway, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We'll use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide, and you do that by clicking on the I button in the top right hand corner of your screen now. It'll take you to the voting page where you can sign in with your YouTube account, which you're using now, or with a Facebook, Gmail, or even a free Patreon account. Right, what do I think of this map? Well, first of all, I think from the right angle like this, it looks blinking nice, you know. But all told, when we actually get down there and start doing the fly around, it feels like a 3-star map. It's a pretty good 3-star map. I just can't set it up to a 4th star, so I'm going for a high 3. Detailing on the whole is a bit middly, and it's a bit middly being held back by some not so middly bits. So what I'm going to do, I don't think it's bad enough to go into 2-star area, so I'm going to go for a low 3. It's still a 3-star map. Gameplay potential for what it is, I would like to see a bit of water, moving water in the start square. I'd like to see some highways would be nice. But all that, considering you're going to be doing some dotted towns, some small conurbations for cities, I think it could still work. 3 stars. Giant USA map by Mattia 10. Yeah, I mean, as things go, for me that could be a little bit more interesting. It could be a little bit more polished. But it's perfectly fine, and there's going to be somebody out there that's looking for exactly that map to build on, so good for you. Anyway, if you're still watching, you are in the 20 and out elite, so therefore you can use the 2 words, use both of them please, for double bubble 200 population points, and stick them into today's comments, and don't talk about it in the comments because it's our secret society.